Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. So today we are from Group 3. We will present part-time salary calculator. Next slide. This is our group member. So for the first is Amirah Hafiz bin Abdul Mu'in. And second that's me, Syabir Ahmad Khoridur Mawijan. And next is Ibrahim bin Hassan.
Okay, so this is the IPO phase, which is input, process, and output. So our input is number of hour work from 5 part-time worker. And the process start with initialize counter, which is salary equal to 0. And then second process is repeat following process 5 times using for loops. And so the first one, we have to prompt user for the number of hours work, and then read hours, compute base salaries, which is equal hours times 10, and then compare the salary value. If salary is higher than 80, so it will be the total salary equal base salary plus 20. And else, if it is below 80, it just the total salary will just salary, no added value. And then we will update the total salary. So will be the total salary need to pay to the part-time worker. Okay,
So
next.
we present about pseudocode. Starting with the main block, the first declare two arrays, which is hours and salary, both with a size of 5. First loop, after input, we use a for loop to collect data for each employee. The system asks for their hours of work. On this calculation, in fact, this loop, we call two methods, salary calculation to get the base pay and additional reward to see if they qualify for a bonus. The total salary is then stored in the salary array. Next is second loop output. Once all data is processed, a second loop runs to display the employee details, showing the hours worked and the final total salary for each person. Next is method explanation. Now, let's look at the two methods that handle the logic. So, there are two. So, the first is salary calculation. This is a simple method which takes the hours as input and multiplies it by 10 to get the base salary. Next is additional rewards. This method checks for a bonus. If the salary is more than 80, the employee will receive a reward of 20 ringgit. Otherwise, the reward is zero. This value is then returned to the main program. So for the conclusion for this code, in summary, this program efficiently automates salary calculation. Separates the input logic from calculation logic using methods. So that's all for me. Next slide.
Now we focus on the our flow chart. So our main flow chart, our main flow program is first we are going to start and then declare hours, hours and also salary, which is an array. We use a rectangle for the shape, and then for the for loop we go for uh, the diamond shape, and then if the condition is correct, and then it will go proceed to the uh, from user for the hours of work. Then the main method will call the Java method. We call salary calculation hours and also call additional reward based salary. And then after it have called the method, and then it will compute salary equal to base salary plus reward to find the salary, the final salary for the part-time worker. And then we are going to update the I value, and then for the output, we use the also the for loop, and the we is going to display 5 times, which represent 5 workers. And then we are going to display the employee details, the hours work, the total salary. And then the before we end, we also update the I value so it can still repeat and produce five time salary report for 5 workers. And then go if we look at our other Java method, the first one is additional reward method. Okay, first we start and then we go for the if else statement. And if the condition is correct, salary more than 80, so the reward will be 20. And if the condition is not correct, the reward will equal to 0.00. And then after it has done, it will return the salaries. Okay, and then when we look at our second Java method, which is salary calculation method, first we are going to start and then we are going to compute our salary, which is hours times 10, which is the hourly rate. And then we are going to return the salaries to the main method and end our flowchart. Okay, next. Okay, now we look at our coding. Okay, first we import Java user scanner and also declare our Java file which is public class salary. And then we initialize scanner for our keyboard input so the user can from their hours of work. And then we create one dimensional array to store data for our 5 employees. And then one array for hours input and one for salary, which you can see double hours equal to new double and double salary equal to new double 5. Okay, and then we go for our input loop, which is the repetition structure, which will repeat for 5 times. So integer I equal to 0 and if I less than 5, so it will execute it. And then we prompt user for number of hours and after we read the input, we store it in the hours array and then we calculate our base salary using the Java method. Using the Java method we do and then we determine if the employee qualify for the bonus reward using the Java method. And lastly, we compute the salary for the worker. And then next our coding. Here for our output loop, we can see that we use for loop for the output, which we are going to display for 5 workers. Okay, and then we use array, which we use array to display, which is for hours I and also salary I. And then we close the scanner. After that, we use our method, Java method, public static double salary calculation double hours to compute their salaries. And then we also use the public static double additional reward double salary for our other Java method to determine the if the worker uh, can get the additional reward. Okay.
So this is the output for this coding. So the first workers work for 6 hours. The second one works for 7 hours, and the third one works for 8 hours, and the fourth one works for 10 hours, and the fifth person and the last person work for 12 hours. So the output for the employees one details, which works for 6 hours, he got 60 ringgit without additional reward because he works less than 8 hours, and for the second player also, don't get the additional reward because he just worked 7 hours, which is less than 8 hours. For the employee three also the same, he just worked for 8 hours, so no additional reward. But the fourth person worked for 10 hours, which is more than 8 hours, and get additional rewards for 20 ringgit. So the total for the fourth workers, he get 120, which is 100 ringgit plus 20 rewards. And the fifth person work for 12 hour, which get 120 ringgit and additional 20 ringgit. Shabil? Okay, next, this is our desk checking. So So that this the input is the work hour, which is 6 hours. The second one is 7 hour, 8 and 10 and 12. So the process is the hours time 10, which is 10 is ringgit for an hour. So we calculate it and we get 60, so it is correct. Second one also we get 70, so it is correct. Third one we get 80, it is also correct. And the fourth one we get 120, which is 10 times 10, then additional 20. And the fifth one we get 140, which is 12 times 10, and then add 20. Okay. I think that's all for us. So guys, anything to say?
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.